Go.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about some rules. We also have catapults. This is only specific to a couple of quests that occur, but since we obviously don't have physical catapults to use, I want to show you guys how we do the catapult rules. You're going to have two people who interlock arms on opposite sides of the third player. The third player, being the firing mechanism, will then be able to throw the catapult ball as such, and that will be how we function catapults. Catapults do act as siege, but again, they will only be present for a couple of particular quests. Also, the boulders that we're probably going to be using are going to require both hands just because they're much larger than that, and they're big pillows. And that's how we're going to be doing the sieging of the walls. A couple of other things just to cover real quick. Potion making. Earlier we showed those collectibles. Right now there are 9 different ingredients that will be out in the field inside of these little bins. Inside of those bins will be a different arrangement of various flowers. Any player at any time can carry a total of up to 3 of these flowers on the person. None of the recipes for anything will be things that players know at the start. You can gain these recipes through talking to NPCs, doing various quests, and finding the recipe cards. When you go to loot these things, all you need to do, make sure you kind of pull from the base so that you don't break it, but you just have to pull them out to collect them. That's it. Very simple. You can only carry 3 of them. One of the things that we are doing during this is we'll be doing reeve checks periodically. Any reeve, temporary or permanent, is allowed to do a reeve check of any player while they're out there. Generally, they're not going to do it to you in the middle of combat, but they might do it before you head into a fight. What they're going to do is they're just going to say reeve check. They need to check the tokens that you have on you to make sure that you have the tokens for the equipment you're carrying. They don't need to check every token you have on you, just make sure that you have the tokens for the stuff you're carrying. As well, they're going to check that you only have 3 of the plants or less, and that you're only carrying the quest items when you're supposed to be. If you break any of those rules, you'll be given a warning. After your warning has been marked with logistics, you will then be losing life cards each time you break the rules. So it's probably best that nobody breaks the rules. Some of the things that are still going to exist in this as well is the capture points. Some of you are familiar with how I do zone control. Out in the vastness of the site, you're going to have 6 areas that have a stake that will be glow in the dark in the ground about yay high up with 2 cones of each of 2 colors. The cone that is on top is considered the dominant team for that point. All you have to do to change them is literally take the cones off, swap them, and put them back on. Those cones are never to leave the stake other than to swap them. Please do not try to take them or go away with them. I don't want to lose my cones, and that is not a mechanic, so please do not do that. The other continuous scoring things, there will be flags placed inside of the base. We in Logistics will actually be placing where these flags are. They won't be inside the fort. If you return the enemy's flag to your Valhalla, you'll score and a reeve will take it back to get it set up, so that's another way to earn points. Potions will be done at the tavern and the apothecary. When you go to those places, you can combine any number of ingredients to try to create the various potions and effects in the game. If you create something that's balked, you'll be told. If you create something that is an actual potion, it will go up on a board of recipes so that all can identify it. You'll earn points for your team, and you'll get a copy of that potion. Potion effects will range. You'll have to play to figure that out. The last thing I want to go over today is the monster encounters and how they work. We will be having roaming monsters, which effectively work just like players. They will be out there. They might have a little bit of stuff on them you can loot. They get looted the exact same as players. You just fight them, and they'll let you know abilities as you're fighting. If you start, like if they're immune to something, of course they'll call immune. That type of thing. It's a regular monster. There are also going to be instance encounters. These will clearly have reeves. It won't be confusing about where they're at. When you find these instance encounters, only small groups will be able to go through them at a time. These are specific monster fights, and they're meant to be very difficult. These fights will allow adventurers in groups of 4 or 5 to do them. Or less, obviously, but 4 or 5 is going to be the max end of how many can go into the encounter. Those encounters can be made easier through role-playing. You can go around and find out information about the monsters you're trying to kill. You can get sword potions that are made similar to The Witcher. You can get the oils to apply to make the fights easier. Information is going to be a big thing in this. You're going to want to role-play up in town.
NPCs in town?
There is an NPCs in town. I don't have a whole lot of information to share with you guys because in truth the NPCs are supposed to kind of remain secret. Information about them as well as the information they provide can earn your team points and hint to some clues in a lot of different missions.
They give quests as well.
They also do give quests that have rewards. Most quests are going to get you either equipment or money or gear, and then just about everything scores points. The points totals will never be given to the players until the conclusion of the event, so nobody's going to know what the totals are all laying in the end. I think that about covers it. If you've got questions, please send them to me.